You're listening to Kpoppin, getting your K-pop fix with DJ Isak.
Ugly Truth. It's time to have Sooyoon in the studio, and I like your new look.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the backwards hat. You look like you're in junior high. It's good to have you back in the studio. It is a compliment. Trust me, it is. It is. So, how have you been?
I've been good.
Feeling better?
Yeah, feeling definitely better.
Okay, that's good.
It has been a long sickness.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've noticed that a lot of people are telling me that this cold that's going around is really killing everyone.
Yeah,
literally, it's just
seriously.
like it's going on for a long time.
Everybody's
It's
sick.
very draining.
You know, it has been weird because first I got headache, and then it moved on to my throat hurting, sore throat, and then started coughing, and then started like sniffy nose. Now I'm better.
Now you're better.
So yeah.
Well, at least it's out of your system.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Thank God.
Hopefully. So, you've just had a really relaxing week?
Yeah.
Just in the studio?
We've been recording new demos and stuff. Yeah.
That's good. Sounds good. So we got a lot of cool stories today, so let's start jumping straight in.
All right. This is from Kathy from Canada. Hello, Isak and Sooyoon. I don't know what to do. I'm 19, and the guy who likes me is 13 years older than me. But I don't like him. I met him last year at a convention I volunteered at, and I've told him how I felt. It makes me really uncomfortable whenever he tries to make a move on me. He seemed to have backed off for a while, but over the weekend, while I was volunteering at the annual convention again, he was there as one of the staff members. Being around him all weekend, I noticed that he was trying to make some moves again, and it really started to creep me out. I was put under his department, working at the photo booth, and he kept trying to take photos of me. He is one of the photographers, and I can't say that we won't see each other again, since we do have the same group of friends. What do you think I should do? I've never had this happen to me before, so I'm not sure how to react to all of this.
That's uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. And there's an extended version of this.
Oh, okay.
And the part that got me was that he keeps on trying to start conversation and initiate physical contact, like hugging me and whatnot.
Ugh.
So that was when I was like, this is kind of uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I think it would be relatable if I were to flip it over for you soon, and let's say one of your fans, big loyal fan, but you love them and you thank them, but you really want to just keep it that, just fan to artist relationship. But this fan somehow is like so motivated that they find their way like working at your company.
Oh, okay.
And let's say they're an intern or whatnot, they somehow get closer to you in a workplace. And they kind of do the exact same thing. They're kind of, taking pictures of you, trying to be a little too close for comfort.
I see.
Somehow they become your stylist, and now they're like literally getting into, your pants and stuff, where they're like, giving you clothes and, dressing you and whatnot. What would you do if it's like a working relationship, but the person is taking it a little too far?
That's a really... I never thought about that.
I don't think anybody really thinks about this unless it's happened to them.
I guess everything else is fine, but I think the physical contact part is kind of really uncomfortable. And if in the beginning, you know how we do the A and B thing?
Yes.
the A is tell him that you're not interested and be strong about it, and then B is try to ignore him and keep this distance. So I was gonna choose B, until I saw the part where he keeps on trying to hugging her.
Yeah, and be a little bit more physical.
Yeah, so yeah, what do you think?
Honestly, because this is awkward for her, because technically this could be considered sexual harassment because of the way that he's because the physical in there as well, and also because he's a photographer, for him taking pictures of her. Now I don't know what Kathy's doing as she's volunteering. I don't know if you're volunteering as a model or just as a volunteer where you're in t-shirts and like a hoodie and a guest pass or a volunteer pass and jeans, and he's just like taking random snapshots of you. If you wanted to take this serious, there's people that would probably take people to court for this. Well, I'm from California. Everybody sues everybody in California.
It's true. Everybody, yeah.
So everything can lead to a lawsuit in California.
Yeah.
But
well, if there's no hugging part and stuff like that, I was gonna say, since this is an annual convention, does that mean that she's just meeting like once every year or something like that?
Probably
something like that.
I'm guessing.
So I was just gonna say, just ignore it, and let time pass, and you don't have to see him for another year, and he might like somebody else during that time. So, but that would be really bothering if he keeps on trying to hugging you. So I would say be strong, like when you tell him that you really don't like it when he tries to hug you.
It's really hard when it comes to these things as well, because and this is why I feel that in many different states and countries around the world, stalker restraints and laws against stalking and restraining orders. The reason why those are so hard to pass is because it's he said, she said, I guess you would have to say. And yeah, I think that number one, there's a 13-year gap. So obviously Kathy's uncomfortable about that.
Yeah.
He said that he was interested and she declined, but he's constantly coming back for more.
Yeah.
I've actually had somebody do this.
Really?
So what happened was it started off as just flirting. But I was dating somebody at the time, and so was he. Yeah. So it was kind of like and we did meet because of work. It wasn't something here. It wasn't even a Korean celebrity. It was somebody else.
Okay.
So what happened was we started off and it was just kind of, it wasn't even flirting. It was more so just kind of like, you were great today. Yeah. It was a great show, that kind of stuff. And then, we just kept in touch. And then I don't even live in the same country as that person does. And then I came back to Korea. We texted, we messaged and stuff like that. And then it started getting kind of serious. Like, it started getting, like, the flirting started getting really serious. And then I thought it would stop after a few years, but it's getting worse.
Like, until now?
Yeah. It's to the point where I've actually blocked their number.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
And they don't really catch a clue, so to speak.
That you're being uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's just like that I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind a friendship there, but I don't think I want anything else.
Yeah.
And there's always something else is the problem. Like, the person can't really accept that they're being rejected.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard in these situations.
Right.
I'd have to say, I'd go for A as well. I'd go for A. And I know that this is going to sound really creepy. Kathy, I don't want to freak you out, but as you're volunteering, try and find somebody that, if this gets serious, that can testify in your defense. Seriously. It's really hard when there's no hard evidence these days, but when it comes to people like this, there's a big age gap. I don't know how big he is compared to you. It could get serious, but tell him no.
Yeah, tell him no. And on the extended version, she's saying that they have the same group of friends, and everyone who volunteered at the convention is pretty much like a family. So ask your friends
Yeah,
for
friends for help.
Yeah.
I think
Tell
so
them
too.
tell them that he's really making you uncomfortable, and tell them that help her to have distance from that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And since you guys do have the same group of friends, there should be some moral support there.
Yeah.
If they take his side,
Yeah.
they're not a group of friends that you need. Trust me.
Or he's just being not that creepy. If their friends are like, oh no, he's not that creepy.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always two sides. Well, there's three sides to a story, actually.
Yeah.
Third
Third party.
There's always a third party perspective. Even ask maybe some of your friends.
Yeah.
What kind of guy is he? If you're not really sure who he is, if they know him better, if they're a little bit on the older side, what is he like with relationships? Why does he really like me? Is it more of an obsession, or is it more of genuinely he just thinks I'm cute? You know,
or just being since he's older, he might be thinking that she's just like a kid.
Yeah,
and,
and-
she's just so cute, and he's not that serious. But as long as you feel uncomfortable, I think you should do something about it.
Yeah, if you're feeling uncomfortable, and I think that's how the courts are doing it these days. When it comes to filing a complaint or sexual harassment or anything, it's even if it's a tap on the shoulder.
Yeah,
if it makes you feel uncomfortable, then you have the right to call it.
Yeah.
So obviously you are feeling uncomfortable at the moment,
Right.
so you have the right to call it.
Yeah.
And I think the A would be the best way to go. So yeah, Sooyoon and I today are saying
A.
Tell him you're not interested, but be a little bit more firm.
Yeah.
When you say it.
No physical contact.
Try to, yeah. Just be like, or, and I'm the type of person too, Kathy, that I can't really say bad things to people. I'm not the type of person that can get mad at somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not the type of person to nag. I try to beat around. I honestly beat around the bush when I have to tell somebody something. So I wouldn't probably be able to do anything in this situation either. I'd probably sit down and be like, thank you for the attention, but it's kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Could you back off a little bit?
Yeah.
And if he kind of pushes a little bit more, then start finding other ways to put your foot down.
You don't have to be mean, but
Yeah, you don't have to be
just
mean
tell him.
about it.
Tell him very straightforward.
I think if you start running away from it, it's gonna
Yeah,
provoke him even more.
Yeah. I don't think he would stop.
Yeah.
just by running away.
So our choice is Team A. So Team A or Team B, we're going to be choosing one of the winning sides, and we're going to choose one of you to get a prize today. Sounds cool, right?
Cool.
We're going to take a listen to some tracks, and then we'll come back with our second story. If you have any ugly truths that you would like to share with us, you can always send them in now. FT Island is saying, a grown-up guy. 다 큰 남자가. We'll see you guys after this. All right, with that, we are back. We're asking our listeners to side with either Team A or Team B for Kathy's situation. Kind of a little bit of a recap. There's a guy who's 13 years older than her, making her feeling quite uncomfortable. She's 19. They work at a convention. They volunteer at a convention together. They have the same group of friends. And he's just kind of making her feel uncomfortable. He's kind of approached her and said he liked her. She said no, but he's not kind of backing off. So as a Team A, tell him that you're not interested and tell him a little strongly this time. So kind of just put it down again. Put on thick. Say no. Or B, try to ignore him and keep distance, and maybe he'll go away. So A or B. Let's go to our next story, which is from the USA.
All right, from Daphne. Hello is advice of how to maintain my friendship with my college roommate. We're currently first year at college, and we live in a dorm together. We got along with each other so well since the beginning, but now it's starting to get boring and awkward because we haven't been talking a lot since we are very busy with classes. Even though we eat dinner together and walk to class, we remain quiet. Also next year, I'll be living with her again. So what should I do? I don't want to end my friendship with her because she's so nice and funny. Plus, she's Korean. I get to learn more about her culture. How should I not make our friendship awkward and boring?
You live together and it's awkward and boring. How did this happen?
Yep.
How is it that two college girls live in a dorm together, you're roommates, and it gets boring? What?
Yeah.
Throw Twister or games into your, like, I don't know, like Roomy Cube or like Go Fish or something. I mean, out of your busy schedules, I've noticed my cousin in college, her and her roommate, they're both Korean American.
Yeah.
She's kind of the study freak. Her roommate's not really.
Oh, I see.
But they still keep a conversation. And she did tell me that with the different schedules, it does change. Like, it does kind of get awkward because you don't really know what to talk about. And if you're majoring in different things, you don't really have anything in common anymore. Boys is always a common denominator. Gossip is always a common denominator. Daphne, you listen to K-Poppin. She's Korean. K-pop.
Yeah.
Talk about Sooyoon.
Talk about me.
Talk about Royal Pirates.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing that something went wrong along the way, because
I'm guessing.
yeah, because they haven't been very close, and now it's all of a sudden that they're not really talking with each other. So something, not her without her knowing. I think her friend might be hiding something inside.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a very good opinion.
Yeah, but I think best way to kind of ruin relationships are doing business together and being roommates.
True. Actually, I kind of agree.
Kind of agree, right? There's points that kind of ruins relationships, I think, by doing that, because it's really sensitive subject when you live together and there's something that you really don't like about that person, but you can't really tell them because they're your friend, and it might personally I was afraid to like hurt that person's feeling when I was rooming with when I was in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
because you were friends before you moved in.
I became friends, but even that I was friends with, since I was friends with him. And it was kind of hard to tell him, like, can you
pick up after yourself?
Yeah, something like that. When you roommate, there's a couple of reasons to kind of like get annoyed. That person being messy. It also applies to myself. But,
true.
Being messy, smell like when you eat food or something, and noise at night. If the person snores or something like that when you're awake, and it's like. It's not that person's fault, but you still get annoyed. Yeah, so it's really hard to tell them. You can't really control like them snoring.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if they bring like a lot of guests or friends, or
if they have a girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah. So it's really hard, and I feel like that her friend might be having something like that.
Okay, yeah, actually, it might be. Your friend might feel that there's something that she wanted to say, but she's hiding, and so that's why she's more quiet, and now you're more quiet.
Yeah.
There's actually a few times I've seen this work. So what you do is you have a small whiteboard either on the fridge.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people use that, actually. Yeah.
So you have a whiteboard or chalkboard on your fridge or by the door. So like before you leave the house, the door, your dorm door, or the house leaving the door leaving your house, so the front door. What they do is each of you write things to each other.
Yeah.
So even if it's hi, have a good day, missed you this morning.
It's like it works for girls.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it could, but I've actually seen couples work things out through this as well.
Yeah, that too.
Like if the whiteboard is on the fridge says, it looks like you had a bad night, or you were really, it seemed like you had a sleepless night. Like feel better or eat this. There's like something in the fridge. Couples do this for roommates.
Yeah.
I've seen people. The small, like Sooyoon was saying, like chores. Some people get pissed about people eating their food. Like I bought a yogurt and you
Yeah,
ate it.
yeah.
Like the smallest things.
Yeah.
Like I bought the coffee, you're drinking.
Yeah, especially I think in the States. I think compared to Koreans.
Compared to
Koreans are like, oh, we are brothers.
Yeah,
and
we share.
We share. But us, since they're more individualists in America, that's really a
big
problem.
thing.
Big thing. Yeah.
So what you can also do is if there's something like that that springs up. So Daphne, if you talk with your friend and they're like, well, honestly, there was this thing that my mom brought me from Korea, but you ate it.
Yeah.
It could be the smallest thing like that.
Seriously, but it's really hard to say that because it's so small.
Yeah, it's so small, and she knows that it's probably something that she shouldn't be upset about, but she is.
Yeah.
So you should talk about it a little bit, and if it has something to do with either chores or food or grocery shopping, even
Or snoring.
even, or maybe bathroom or showers. Girls, spending time in the bathroom. I don't know how many bathrooms you have. Time in the shower could be a problem as well.
Yeah.
Use those whiteboards. Don't text each other. Use whiteboards or something that you can see, like an actual handwritten, something genuine.
Yeah.
And start leaving notes for each other. Maybe that'll help. Even the smallest "Have a nice day" smiley face would make me feel happy.
Yeah.
I used to do this with my own old trainee roommates. So when we were in dorms when we were trainees, when people started pissing me off, I would actually do the opposite, and I would write, "Hi, good morning, see you later."
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And they were just like, what is she doing? She must be crazy. But it helped me. Because I always grudged against them, or they were making me upset. But me putting a good gesture or a good foot down in the beginning helped me to kind of forget how bad that person was or how annoying that person was.
Yeah.
So maybe little messages or things, just talk it out, I guess.
Or if it's kind of, just too awkward for you to do that, just be like, have you been like sleeping well lately, or
Small talk.
Have you want to clean the house today or something like that? Just kind of naturally solve that problem that she has inside. Maybe if she does have some problem.
Yeah, do some spring cleaning. Be like, I'm gonna clean my part of the room today, or I'm gonna clean my part of the house. Would you like to maybe help clean like the mutual part? I don't know how big your dorm is, because some dorms in the States, don't they have just beds and then the bathroom is like a public bathroom down the hall? Is there? I'm not sure. I've never been to college in the States.
Where I
went to
was
community college.
was they had a public restroom. Yeah.
So it was 2 to a room, no bathroom in there. You had to walk down the hall to go to the bathroom and shower and stuff like that. Okay. So I went to community college, so I stayed at home. So I didn't have to worry about the shower system of roommates.
That's great.
But yeah, like maybe even if it's the smallest things, like, even though you guys don't even share a desk, maybe even smallest things like running the vacuum in your dorm.
Seriously, it's the small things.
It's the small things that bother people.
If you're since you're close with your friend, you become more comfortable and you tend to kind of, I'll clean it later. You become more comfortable like family. So, but you have to be more careful if you're really close. Yeah.
Really close to somebody.
Yeah.
I'd have to say that if you really didn't know them, but you became close as you were roommates, so you became friends because you were roommates, I think that would be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Or let's say you're roommates and you're just literally roommates. You're not close, you're not close, you're just acquaintances. It'll be a lot easier to be like, hey, dude, pick up after yourself. You do your own laundry. It's easier. But once you require friendship with them, you don't want to hurt their feelings. It gets awkward. Maybe even you, Daphne, you might have something that you don't like about your friend or your roommate, but you don't really know. Like you can't put your finger on why do I not feel comfortable around her anymore. It could be even the smallest thing, like her bursting into the room when you're changing instead of knocking before entering. It can be the smallest of things when you're living with somebody.
It's really hard. It's really hard living with somebody. Yeah.
Oh, it is so hard to live with somebody.
Yeah.
I'm actually one of the people that I agree that you should live with your significant other before you marry to kind of test the waters.
I see.
Because I don't want to sign up for something and make it permanent and hate them if I start living with them. Because I know how awkward it gets when you start living with somebody.
Yeah, it's not just their fault. Sometimes it's my fault too. And
Exactly.
I feel uncomfortable because of my mistakes and stuff like that. I want to clean. I know I'm messy, but I want to clean later maybe. But
they're like really perfectionist, like cleanly people.
And it happens. So.
It happens.
Yeah.
It can be your fault.
Yeah.
It can be like you like to cook, but you don't like to clean the dishes right after. But that person has to clean the dishes while they're cooking. It can be the smallest things like that.
I mean, there's no wrong and right answer.
Exactly.
So everyone's just so different,
Exactly. I think that talk it out first. Find out what's the problem, and then the awkwardness will probably go away.
I think there's a problem. There should be. That's why it's
Yeah.
awkward. Yeah. So just solve that problem. Talk it out.
Kathy is uncomfortable. There's a guy 13 years older than her. She's 19 that tried to approach her. She said no, but he's kind of continuing to do so, and she's uncomfortable in the situation. Team A is to tell us if we'll tell Kathy to A, say no yet again and make your stance, or B, to kind of just ignore him and pray he goes away. A or B, that is your choice for today. We're going to take a listen to Sunny and Yen's track, Norza. Let's play. And we'll see you guys after this. Okay, so we're going to read our last story. And soon, you might actually recognize the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might recognize the story.
Yeah, because it's related to our past story.
Exactly.
One of our past stories.
So let's read it.
All right. It's from Maho from Mexico. Lately, my best friend and my brother have been suspiciously friendly. Quote, friendly. A few weeks ago, she asked me how I would feel if one of my friends started to dating my brother. So I told her that I would probably feel very uncomfortable. Even though she asked me this, I wasn't sure if she was actually liking him. Until a few weeks ago when I was watching the streaming of the show, which is this show, right? Mm-hmm. And the message from Mexican girl was asking for an advice because she liked her best friend's brother. I remember this story. And I'm very worried because I really don't know what to do. The idea of them dating or being in a relationship is awkward for me. But I also don't want to be selfish and deny them the chance of being together and maybe happy. But I'm scared that if they break up, she won't be my friend anymore. Please tell me what I should do. I really need some advice. Just if you're wondering, I'm 19, my brother is 23, and my friend is 18. Thank you very much.
So, Mao, I think that it is the same story.
Yeah.
And just to kind of recap for you, Mao, if you were listening, your friend, maybe that is not your friend. It might not be your friend. It might be just the exact same situation.
In the exact same country.
In the exact same country. You never know.
With exact same name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I didn't think that Ida was such a common name, but I found out that Ida was a very common name in the U.S. But most of the people are deceased. But anyways, Maho, in that person's story,
Yeah.
She decided to take her friend over the brother and decided not to go to the graduation party.
Yeah.
And decided not to take actions. I think it's safe to say that it's not awkward.
Oh, did she message again after the thing? Oh, I see.
So, yeah, I think it was when Moon came in.
Oh, I see.
We got an update saying that she did get asked by the brother to go to the graduation party.
I see.
But she has decided to decline because she doesn't want things to get awkward with her friend. So she chose friendship over love.
Wow.
Which is the way it's supposed to be.
Wow. All right.
That's... Yeah. And, Kathy just tuned in.
What?
Kathy says, OMG, I totally forgot to tune in today. I hope somebody recorded this so I can re-listen to it. Well, Kathy, our show does re-air in the wee hours of the morning, so you can recap our show. Kathy, we're giving your advice, so we haven't given your advice answer yet. So we might be giving you some answers later. So hopefully you're tuning in.
All right.
And stay tuned in.
All right.
But yeah, I think everything's pretty much settled though.
Well, I was going to say if we didn't get an answer from the other person, if it already started, there's nothing you can do about it. So I was just going to say, just let it be and
Let it be.
yeah, let it be.
Let it be.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I think people tend to like somebody who is close to either their friend or their family.
I think it's because you see them a lot.
Yeah, and then also I think there are more things to talk about because you share a group of friends, same group of friends, same group of family members. So you can kind of talk about your friends, and there are more connections, I think. So, but I realized that I've seen stuff like that happen, but I think people confuse that connection and that
Bond.
the fact that you can relate to them. You confuse that feeling that you like them. So after that thing kind of goes away, people tend to break up really fast.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So but I also found out that it's hard to stop that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Though for me, and I think I've said this on the show before, I do have kind of a pet peeve of girls or guys going for other girls or guys in my group.
Yeah.
So like I'm really against if I have a group of friends, like let's say I'm really 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 close with Rob Parrots and all the guys, and then I have like my group of friends, and then all of a sudden one of my girls starts liking like Sooyoon.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh my god, Sooyoon's so cute, and then she gets really awkward around him, and then makes me awkward because I'm close with him. And then let's say they started dating, and then it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then it's like awkward.
Yeah.
I end up losing one of them.
Yeah.
I either
True.
no longer talk to Sooyoon,
Right.
or I no longer talk to her. Or even if I do, it's not as often, and I have to kind of watch what I say. But you're right. But I was actually watching a lot of American sitcoms and American dramas, and it always ends up finding out look at Friends. They all date each other.
Yeah.
It all works out in the end, but they all dated each other. Or had some type of encounter with each other.
Yeah.
So, I think that
And whenever people try to stop them,
it never works.
Yeah, it never works, and it kind of makes it worse. Like it kind of makes that person want that other person more, I think.
It's the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah,
It's the forbidden
Romeo and
fruit.
Juliet.
The forbidden fruit. You tend to want something you cannot have.
It's true. I don't know why people do that, but
And it's actually something that I've learned. What I end up doing is, anybody is going to want to do something they're told not to do.
Yeah.
So let's say, Sooyoon, you're still a part of our show, but
Yeah.
I say, Sooyoon, just don't come next week. You're gonna be like, why?
yeah,
Like, no, just cause it's not that we don't want you, just don't come next week. Then you're gonna be like, no, I want to come more next week.
yeah, right.
But then I'm gonna come Thursday too, and then I'm gonna come Wednesday too. So
It's weird.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to apply this if I ever have kids, but I'm actually gonna tell my kids, do it.
Me too. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, me too.
But just don't come home crying to me saying, why?
Yeah.
Help me. I'm not gonna help you.
Right.
I told you no.
Yeah,
I told you not to. But I feel everybody's going to do it. Your parents tell you not to touch the fire because it's going to burn you. You're just like, ooh, it's fire. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh. Everybody's going to do it. And it's inevitable. So I'd actually want to try and help a friend, which I try to do anyways. What I want to do is try and help them find an escape route. So let's say, if I was Maho's situation.
Yeah.
I'm going to be uncomfortable with it, but if it ends up happening and all this gets weird, I'm going to still be on your side. Like, if she's ready to do that and ready to accept that, I think that'll be a lot easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that person gives the friend an escape route instead of, it's either take him or take me, instead of like the ultimatum of giving them the forbidden fruit, just be like, do it. Just remember that there are consequences.
Yeah.
And I'm a bigger person and I'll try and, overlook those consequences, but you never know.
Yeah. And it's really hard.
It is really
it's
hard.
really hard to do that.
True.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
but that if it doesn't work out, that friendship will not be the same. So, but if that happens, then that friend is just not worth that much, I think.
Okay. Snow actually is going to be our winner for today. Team A won, by the way, for Kathy. So, Kathy, take a listen to this because Snow, this is some serious stuff. Okay, so while age gaps don't bother me, I know the creepiness of the situation. So, when I was 17, I had befriended the father of a friend of mine, but the dad wanted to spend more time with me than with my friend. At the first signs of awkwardness, I would only hang out if there were a group of our friends over, and I'd stick close to at least one or two of them, but he'd always end up cornering me, so I'd stop coming around. I explained to my friend why I wasn't comfortable, but he got mad and said I was blowing things out of proportion, so I lost the friend. His dad, however, found ways to see me out in public. This lasted for about 6 months after the friendship ended. He, the dad, would call and leave messages on my cell phone telling me I was really pretty, creepy, amongst other things, and he wished I'd come back to his house and make up with his son. I'd had enough and confronted the guy one time when he nearly drove my mom off the road trying to pull up next to our car. I told him to stay the hell away from us or I'd call the cops and tell that he was stalking and sexually harassing me. His dad did back off, but it took the threat of the police involvement to have him take the hint. Yeah. My point is, if it makes you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, it's more than okay to speak up. Nothing gets resolved with silence. Tell him you are not interested and to back off.
Right.
So, Kathy, there's your answer. And like I was saying earlier, try not to blow it out of proportion, but it is a very serious issue.
Yeah.
So, that pretty much does it. We already are pretty much overtime right now. We're listening to Sisters Na Honja Alone, and we will see you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.